One. Good afternoon and welcome once again to another exciting edition of Inside ProCents, where our purpose is very simple: to showcase our members, to shed a little light on that value that ProCents is providing to our industry players, and most of all, to let you hear that value directly from our members' lips. My name is Devin Anderson, and I'm the president over here at ProCents, and I'm joined by our CEO, Mr. Matt Russell. Matt, would you like to say a few things before we get started?
You know, I say it each and every time, but, it is one of the most important things that, it's important for us to highlight our members and spotlight our members. So Solo being a newer member for ProCents, I want everyone in the environment to know what they do and how they can benefit from their expertise. So I'm looking forward to them getting some more information from David.
Right on, right on. All right, so as Matt had just alluded to, today we are featuring one of our newest buyers in the inside the ProCents environment, and one that we are truly proud to announce today. Please welcome Mr. David Lax, the president of Solo Energy, headquartered in Staten Island, New York. Good afternoon, David. Welcome to Inside ProCents.
Thanks, Devin. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. And we're happy to be on this call, and we're happy we joined the platform.
Yeah, I'm glad that we finally have a chance to work together, David. We've been talking to each other off and on for years.
Indeed.
All right, as always, let's get this party started by shining a little light on you and your organization with a little self-promotion. Tell us a bit about your organization, and then talk to us a bit about why you decided, yes, ProCents. What brought you across the line?
Understood. Sure. So Solo Energy, we're a company based out of New York, and we offer energy solutions for our customers, which are primarily, commercial property owners and operators. We have a very strong emphasis on customer service and satisfaction. That's number one important thing for us with the customers we work with. And we offer a wide variety of solutions for our clients, whether it's IoT solutions with utilizing the technology to automate processes and reduce energy, with also utilizing asset tracking on devices within a facility. We also offer turnkey lighting solutions, standard controls, networking controls, local law compliance and consulting related to carbon emissions and plans on how to reduce the building's carbon, the footprint. As well as we are a licensed electrical contractor here in New York City and the state of New Jersey, with partners across the US. So we are able to accommodate customers, all over the US. And primarily in this region that we are licensed in-house, we also offer electrical solutions, whether it's a fit out or a specific upgrade, or in, let's say, in New York, there's one of the requirements is tenant metering, which is a requirement from one of the local laws. So that's another solution we offer our clients. Any particular questions you have?
No, I think just giving, that was kind of a nice wide range of kind of what you do, which actually leads into my next question, which, I spent some time on your website, and as I said earlier, very clearly, describing all of what you guys provide, and easy to find, those solutions. When you start talking about sustainability, solar energy storage, IoT, controls automation, turnkey lighting upgrades, and all of the above, being able to know what you're looking for, and then what you guys actually provide, it makes it very, very simple for somebody to come in and say, hey, let's work with Solo. I'm curious, like where do you see the greatest growth opportunities for Solo, and really, how do you plan to leverage ProCents in satisfying some of those growth opportunities, and maybe even helping other areas that aren't growing as much take on a life of their own?
Sure. So, I mean, we do offer many solutions, and the way we approach it is, we build long-term relationships with our clients, focused on specific solutions at a time to essentially reduce their carbon footprint on their property across the board. So we're not necessarily focused on one particular solution. So it's really just about offering the right solution at the right time for that specific site or customer. In regards to what got us to join ProCents, we believe that it's a great environment to network and meet other buyers in the market that we can partner with together on certain aspects, sellers where we can locate new products that we're not aware of, or other vendors out there that specialize in specific products or solutions that we can help bring to our clients and bring more value.
Right on. No, that's good. And I appreciate that.
Sure.
All right. Well, right now we are going to move from me over to an individual that, really needs no introduction, but when you do introduce him, it has to be something special. So it's my honor to introduce a man who loves bacon so much that he frequents farms simply to smell the potential. My friend and our CEO, Mr. Matt Russell. Take it away, sir.
I just want you to remember, I'm going to see you next week. Oh, man. Where do you go from there?
Nowhere but up.
Hey, David, one thing that I love about the environment is the partnerships that we're building. And in the past, we've had people talk about ProCents acts as a vetting system for them when they're engaging with new sellers that they're not fully engaged with yet, to know that, or even new buyers, because sometimes sellers think that buyers only want the cheapest price. But in every market, especially New York market, the Miami market, and LA, where the ports are, it's always a race to the bottom. But that's not what we're going to talk about. That's just what happens. But one of the things that I noticed on the website is the parallels. I think of ProCents, the power of connection, and what we try to do, and we're going to hear it again at the end of this recording today. But building relationships, saying what you're going to do. And on your website, there's two things that I really, really liked. It's in your About Us section, why values and members. But you say integrity, we never forget, and transparency. With transparent communication between teams across our company and with our clients, we help move forward and grow unequivocally. So with that being said, that's one of the things that we push for. And having a partner like Solo that has that same philosophy, that same mission, I truly believe there are some great insights. But is that one of the reasons that you wanted to be a part of ProCents, or what was some of the other things that you saw in the parallels between our organizations?
Sure. So yeah, thanks for the feedback on the website. I appreciate that. Putting a lot of work on that, and that is what's out there is truly how we operate and what we believe in. So in regards to why we joined ProCents is we've kind of after operating so many years, we have a couple different vendors that we work with on a day-to-day, and we only kind of cross that side to a new vendor or something else if it's a specific spec that only a specific manufacturer offers. So having a platform where we can connect with new vendors and companies that are vetted in ProCents gives us the comfortability to look further and expand our list of vendors that we work with.
All right, I love it. Well, and with the vendors that you're working with, and even on your website, you highlight some of the projects that you've done. But as we go into the future, 2023, is less than half a year away. The rebates are going to change, and we're seeing more things go to the controls aspect or the IoT. And I know Light Fair is coming up next week in Las Vegas, but what have you found between the vendors that you're working with and the Internet of Things with the solutions that you're providing to your book of business there or your clients?
In regards to
IoT.
the incentive switching towards there?
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
even,
so-
well, you talked about asset management, but even the incentives, sometimes incentives can, not be the driving factor, but asset tracking, that's not a control aspect, turning lights on and off, but yes, it can be, but it's not attributed to the DLC rebates or even some of the midstream rebates that we see come across.
Yeah, so you want me to touch on like the benefits of different
Yeah,
approaches for IoT?
and the success that you found.
Yeah, so
Let me expand on it and then maybe give you a little more power, something else. I think what I'm hearing from Matt is it's like the IoT is becoming a big thing. It's become a big thing over the last 10 years. A lot of it's been message more than actual, what it does. Now it's getting into what it really does. And so if you guys are very specific on your website about, being an IoT solutions provider, how are you guys managing to exploit, this new IoT frontier, and how are you winning, and how does that tie into, like as Matt was saying, the change in rebates around that topic? Because I know in my own past, one of the harder things is to get the numbers to crunch when you start talking about rebates and and ROI and all those other things, when you try to get the costs and ROI to match. How are you guys winning?
So, I mean, depends what benefits you're looking for out of IoT. I mean, not every solution does have energy savings. It's more about efficiency in your business. So we find ways to improve our customers' efficiency, like with asset tracking, or tracking, employees. And in a facility, you can track where all the movement's happening and find ways to streamline, for an example, manufacturing processes or in office buildings based on activity in the building. The system can give you insights into planning for the future, maybe in regards to eliminating some of the conference rooms or opening more, small single offices based on how there's movement in the building. And then there's also the benefit in regards to, utilizing the network controls with the platform. You can, adjust how the lighting system, how the schedule works, and as well as the HVAC, kind of tie them together. That when someone comes into an office, the HVAC kind of kicks in with the lighting, and over time, the system, depending on the systems you utilize, can kind of learn how that particular office or building operates, and find ways to work around that, meaning work along with them kind of efficiently. In regards to the incentives, there aren't incentives necessarily on IoT. It's more, the incentives, especially here, are driven by energy savings. So if the IoT, let's say an IoT lighting solution, if you're also reducing the wattage or hours that the lights are being used, you can tie that in and get some incentives out of it as well.
Nice. Well, and that's the thing, obviously over the years I've been in the industry, it's heavily rebated on the fixture side and lamp side. That's dwindled down. Now we're seeing higher rebates on the control side, but IoT, it provides so much more value than just controls. Obviously we can, dim lights, based on movement of people or, assets within a building, but it's also about utilizing the space properly And I always say the best lighting control is when a light's turned off. You know, if you want to save the most energy, turn it off. But obviously, we cannot work in a space like that. Obviously, OSHA standards and things that reduce that down because we all have computer screens that provide illumination. But in a place like a warehouse, or even some of the projects that you have highlighted, like Rockefeller Center, you have to meet certain levels of lighting for safety standards. So it's just so fascinating to see, and it's great to have partners like you that have dealt with IoT in a variety of different ways, to be another resource, not only for other buyers to say that are getting into IoT, maybe you could be a resource to them to show them best practices, but also for like PLC multi-point, and some of the other folks that are doing IoT, like the Bluetooth mesh, things like that there. So it's just great to see the holistic approach within the environment coming together to bring better solutions for our clients.
Yeah. And I agree with that. In fact, one of the things that I would like to see more definition around, and really everybody kind of getting into a better understanding of is the actual numbers and savings that controls actually provide. Like, to me, not everybody uses those numbers because there's nothing that's been really published that says, yeah, you can use this in your ROI calculation. Most of it is speculation, and understanding based on simple the simple engineering understanding of what happens when you dim something down. But essentially there's you could literally be controlling up to 30% of what a building actually provides just by controlling the plug outlets, right? Plug load is a huge control point, but there's no number that everybody can agree to of what that actually does for the end user. So it's hard to use. It's too vague. There's a lot of vagueness around it. So somewhere down the road, I'd love to see that, be discussed. So, all right, you have, David, anything more you want to add before I start to kind of close out and move down this path?
No, just I appreciate both you guys, for starting this, and I believe it's something that can really grow, and we're happy to be on board. We're new to the platform, but we're looking to utilize it over the next coming years.
Right on. Yeah, we're excited to have you on, man. And I can't tell, like I said, we've been talking for years, so it's nice to finally actually be able to work with you, and hopefully we can be a part of your future success.
All
right, that concludes today's Inside ProCents blog session. Our focus today, as we've been discussing this, is on Mr. David Lax, the president of Solo Energy, who has a lot of really neat things coming up that we're not going to mention, but we're going to give it a little tease going forward, as we start to add other opportunities for you guys in the ProCents environment. We're proud to have you as a part of our ProCents family, and we look forward to working with you and helping you grow and reach your annual goals in any way that we can. Thanks again for coming on today.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, you want to say a
Thanks,
few
Matt.
words? Oh yeah, thank you so much, sir. Matt, anything from you before we close out?
I really hope that people watch this as well as the other videos, because the environment is growing and getting better every time that we do these, because of people like David and the people in the past, from IoT deployment and the different aspects that we bring to having complete solutions. So there's not a better time than now to work with folks like David and his suppliers, or the other partners that we have within the environment, to get a complete solution for whatever you're trying to do. So yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, as we always do, we're going to close this thing with a bit of our ProCents culture to do it right. We believe here at ProCents that clear, consistent, and transparent communication practices solve 99% of the inefficiencies and challenges that occur in our daily buyer-seller interactions. So to all of our current and future members, the ProCents culture is very simple, and every member enters and adheres to the ProCents promise. Same-day responses to all communication requests, clear and consistent communication practices for efficient interactions, always turning inward for your organizational needs in a deliberate effort to support all of our participating members. And it should always go without saying, but I just always say it anyway. Do what you say you're going to do, always. At ProCents, we make connections that are sticky and that last, then we get out of the way. We open the doors and our participants always choose their own path, but they do it together. We're going to be at Light Fair here coming up. If you are interested in ProCents, you can always go to our website, www.procents.com. But if you're going to be at Light Fair, let's find a way to get connected and take advantage of being in the same geographical location. It doesn't happen very often. Let's make it happen. Give us a shout and let's get on each other's calendars. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.